One, two, three.
Hard too. If they have you pitched up, like in El Deca 7, they really had me pitch up quite a bit, you know. And my first concern, which I brought to them, was like, well, if you pitch me up too high, any emotion that I start to show is going to sound whiny, you know, especially in that higher range. And they're like, well, no. And then after about 15 episodes, they're like, okay, maybe not so high. It's like, yeah, you should have did that in the beginning, but whatever. You know. But yeah. Well, it kind of depends on the role. I think live action or in front of film is harder because it requires more of yourself, you know. But then it's also kind of well, with voice acting, I can play whoever, you know. I don't have to always be a half Asian. In film, I pretty much always have to be a half Asian, you know, unless they put some mask on me.
Or a helmet.
Or wear a helmet, yeah. But I still sound half Asian. I was at McDonald's the other day. I'm going to tell you a story. I was at McDonald's. This was actually a couple months ago. But I like telling this story. It's not a long story, and it's not that interesting, but I like telling it. So, you guys have homeless people, obviously, right? Everybody does. I keep one in the backyard. They make great pets. They do anything for food. And that's mean. Sorry. Anyhow, so I'm at McDonald's. I just did this with my band. We just did this interview on the phone, and I was there by myself, but I was like patched in, I guess, you know, with the other band and bandmates. And so I did this interview, and then I hung up, and I had my food just sitting there, and I was like starving the whole time, you know. And so I finally finished the interview, and I started eating. I just, you know, burger was gone within seconds, and I started eating my fries. And then this guy comes up to me, and I like take a bite out of my fry, and I'm chewing, and I still have half of a fry in my hand and some fries on my tray. And he's like, hey, if you're not going to finish those fries, don't throw them away. I'll eat them. And then I look at him, and I was like, with my half-eaten fry, I'm like, but no, I was planning on eating all of these. You know, and I keep eating, and he's like nods and walks away, and I'm like, what? And I look, as I'm looking at him walk away, I'm like, he's like a homeless guy because he's kind of dirty. And he just like sits down like at a booth, you know, and he's like doesn't have anything in front of him. And then I'm like, oh, whatever, you know. And so I just finished my fries because I'm hungry, and I paid for them. And as I pick up my tray to throw it away and leave, I pick it up, and I'm like up like this, and I see him like that, you know, getting up at the same time, and we make eye contact, and I was like, no, I was serious. I ate my fries. And then he kind of like looked sad, and I was like, you know what? I'll buy you some fries if you want some fries. And he's like, actually, I'll just take a soda. And I was like, do you want a soda? Okay. Okay, all right. So I go to the cash register, and I was like, in my head, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to do something nice for this guy. I'm going to give him a large soda. And so I'm like, a large soda, you know? And then she's like, okay. It's like $2.12 or something. And then she passes the cup along. It's much bigger than this one. She passes it along. And I take it. I'm like, there you go, man. And then he takes it. And then he looks at it, and he's like, this is a large? And I was like, dude, you didn't even freaking pay for it. And I gave her my money, and I was like, I'm out of here. I was like, I like telling that story because, I don't know, homeless people are jerks sometimes. You know? And that phrase, beggars can't be choosers, they can, apparently. I've experienced it. I have another homeless story if you want to hear it.
Sure.
This is my favorite homeless story. It actually, I do have a handful of homeless experiences with the homeless people. I don't know. But anyhow, okay, so I'm driving home from work. I just finished some dubbing. And your freeways here, I mean, you guys are like us. You're not very different from us. A freeway, like you exit the freeway, and for me to go home, I exit the freeway and there's a stoplight there, and then if it's green, I'll turn, and go under the bridge and go home. And so usually at the stoplight, there's always like a homeless person. And the homeless people now are like where I live are like, they can make things out of cardboard now, like not just homes, but like TVs, they can make all kinds of stuff. And they have these signs that like flip like 3 times, and it's like a different thing each time, It's like, I'm hungry, and it's got a smiley face, and then if you don't give them anything, then they go, God bless you, so, which means like, screw you, to some people. And so there's always a dude there, and I've always seen this guy there, and I usually just like, nah, whatever, get a job, you're a dude, and like I have no sympathy for him. And it's usually a different person there too. And so this one day, I exit the freeway, and there's like 4 or 5 cars in front of me. It's a red light, and I pull up behind the cars, and then I'm eating these carrots that I didn't finish from lunch, and they're in this Ziploc bag, and I'm like eating them. And I see there the homeless person, but it's a woman, and I just feel so bad, It's like a homeless woman? That doesn't seem right to me, It's like I felt like I had to help her, And so I scarfed down my carrots, and this big monster truck pulls up behind me with like tinted windows. I can't even see who's in there, but it's above me, and I just feel like it's an angry person, like waiting for me to get out of the way so they can keep going. And I'm there, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then in LA, you have to pay everywhere you go for parking. And I had like 2 pounds worth of quarters in my cup holder. And I'm like, I'm going to give her all my change, And so I grab all my change, and I throw it in the Ziploc bag, I zip it up, light turns green, I roll down the window, she sees it, she puts her sign down, and I put my hand out like this, and then she goes like this, and then the cars in front of me are already like going, and they're going pretty fast, and I'm like, oh shoot. And so she's down there a ways, and so I step on it because the guy behind me is like, go, and I'm like going, and I realize with my hand out with my 2-pound bag of quarters, and she's waiting for it, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like 20 or 30 miles per hour right now. How is this exchange gonna happen? I mean, I don't know if I could take it from, she's going to pull me out of the car, or I'm going to pull her under, and then I'm going to kill her. And so I thought, and I'm really fast at thinking, because this was like within a matter of seconds, and I thought, all I have to do, because I am a trained martial artist, all I need to do is my timing has to be perfect, but all I need to do is flick this 2-pound bag of quarters up, just a hair, just enough so that at this speed it will gracefully land into her hand. And so I'm thinking, I can do this. And I'm going 20, 30, and here we go, and I'm like, I'm close, this is about right, and I flick it just like that, and I watch. Everything goes in slow motion for some reason. Like God was like, slow, and then I just watch as I'm driving, and I'm like, did a good job, Johnny, you just gave her a bunch of money. And she's like this, and I watch the 2-pound bag of quarters hit her in the face at 30 miles per hour. My expression was like, and then hers is like I just took this and was like, homeless person, you suck, and hit her in the face. And this was I'm not even joking, it was like 2 pounds worth of quarters. And I get to the light, and I'm sure the guy behind me was like, jerk! It's a woman! And I turned, I felt so bad. I was just trying to do a good thing. I never saw her there again, so...
Oh my God!
So I might have killed her. I should put up one of those little crosses on the side of the road. And some quarters. Yeah, hopefully she's all right. Oh man, the first woman homeless person I have ever seen in real life. Yes, and last. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah? We've played a few cons, actually. Yeah, my band's name is iShine, EYESHINE, .net. Not .com, .net. You can find some of our stuff online. But yeah, we've played a few conventions. My bass player and my guitarist are not really fans of anime. They weren't too familiar with it. But my drummer was definitely a fan. In fact, he would come up to me with a lot of things and be like, "Hey, dude, I just saw this show. It's in Japanese now. You should try to get it. It's called Bleach." And then I was like, "Oh yeah? Actually, I think I just got that role." And then I was working on it, you know. And it seemed like I kept doing that too. He's like, "Dude, you should see Wolf's Rain. It's just in Japanese though." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm Kiba." Like, what? But yeah, he's a fan of anime. He tries to watch them all. Yes. Country. I love LA. Japan was really cool. New Zealand was alright. Australia was pretty cool. After a couple months, though, it's like I'm ready to go home. I like it. I mean, but I think that's gonna. I think for just about anyone, home is gonna feel best. If you can work near your actual home, it's just gonna feel nice, you know. And yeah, if I could always just be working all the time in LA, that's great, you know. But if I have to go to Japan, all right. Japan's cool though, you know. But you gotta learn some things, you know. A few words help, you know, like asking people if they speak English, or the train system, you know, because the train system you can get anywhere. Their train system is so much better than what we have in the States, or especially in LA. LA is kind of. How many of you guys have actually been to LA before? It's kind of ridiculous, huh? It's nice though there. I love it. We got the beach. That's pretty much it. And earthquakes. Which this is pretty nice too, you know?
This is more for the benefit of who we're dressed as, but what's your favorite kind of pizza? We have to know. We really need to know.
Favorite kind of pizza?
Yeah.
You know, no, I like hamburger. Is that weird?
No.
Most people go for sausage or something, but I like hamburger.
Yeah.
But I can always, but the best, like if you know a pizza's good if you can eat just a cheese pizza and it be good, you know, then you know that pizza is a good pizza. You're about to kick me out of here? Okay. Angela? No, she's not here. Not much. It'd have to be one damn good Klondike bar. No. Yeah. Just gee awesome. Yep. I don't smoke. But if it's a young voice, like if I have to do something kind of high, then I'll probably do some kind of humming, or I'll start working that range and seeing what like I try to discover where I want to take it, how far I want to take the character range. And then you got to know if the character, within the story, if it's a series, like how far does the series go, and does that character grow? So is there going to be some maturity that you're going to have to start injecting into that, you know, along the way?